to listen more in our music. Lenten music offers exquisite beauty, haunting harmonies and texts that transport and transform us. It is one of my favorite seasons to plan for because there's such a vast variety of choices. I recently read a passage on liturgyandmusic.com which says, Lent was never intended to be sad, mournful, and gloomy. I sometimes wonder if getting stuck in that kind of Lent allows us to avoid its real calling, introspection and renewal. Even for those of us who have been Christians for a long time, the 40 days of Lent invites us to take time regularly to examine our lives, to recommit ourselves to prayer, to listen to God's call in our lives. The season calls upon us to look at our deepest selves and to offer that part of ourselves to God. This spiritual journey has led artists to create works of surpassing beauty. As we journey into the wilderness and honor the sacrifice of Jesus, music can help to focus our understanding of the depth of Christ's love. Many of the hymns that we sing are in the hymnals Lent section. You'll see that at the very top of our, in the red book, in the very top, it says what season or what is recommended for that. And there's a whole section for Lent, and we sing lots of hymns from that section. But there's others that are just as appropriate for our Lenten journey. One that comes to mind most notably is When I Survey the Wondrous Cross. That's in the 800s in our hymnal. It's not in the Lent section, and it was originally written as a communion hymn. But it certainly gives us plenty to contemplate during Lent as our focus is on the cross of Christ. If you're looking for a place to start this Lent, take some time during Lent to meditate upon or even memorize the words of this hymn. And I would be willing to bet that many of you already have the words of this hymn memorized. When I Survey the Wondrous Cross. See if it works for you in a new understanding of the depths of Christ's love. Sometimes when you take away the music and you just read the poetry, it can have a completely different effect on you. So I invite you to do that. Don't sing it, just read the words to yourself. I wanted to take a second to thank all of you who have provided for the new hymnals that we will order and have in our pews. We've almost reached our goal. And I wanted to take a second to examine one of the Lenten hymns in our new hymnal, which is All Creation Sing. And John passed that out to you. That particular hymn is called As Your Spirit in the Desert. Oh my gosh, I'm getting tons of emails. People, stop. So as we take a look, this is from the Lenten section of that hymnal. And it's not one that you're familiar with, I'm sure. And it's even a different and unique melody, which I will play for you in a second. But before I do that, I just wanted to read some of the poetry that is here and ponder that for a second. So follow along with me, I'm on verse 1. As your spirit in the desert led the Christ to dust and stone, so instill our hearts with courage now to cross where Christ has gone. Let us cross into the wilderness, so to walk where Christ has gone. So we're talking about our journey here, which is where we are right now at the very beginning of our journey. As your fire and cloudy pillar Israel's tribes to Canaan led, may your presence be our comfort, may your manna be our bread. Let us cross into the wilderness with God's manna as our bread. So though we might be fearful, we trust. Though wild beasts may lurk in the shadow and dire thirst may sear and sting, you have promised living waters waiting for us at the spring. Let us cross out of the wilderness to the waters of the spring. While we may have uncertainty, if we trust, we will cross out of the wilderness. Through the narrow gate now draw us past all empire's pull and strife, where beyond our fear and clinging stands the threshold of new life. Let us cross out of the wilderness to the threshold of new life. We have trusted. God of desert, God of promise, you have bid us journey on through the days of dust and darkness to the rising of the dawn. Let us cross out of the wilderness to the rising of the dawn. our reward. I want to play it for you. Just listen without following the words and think about how this hymn makes you feel. So just a couple of thoughts to share with you as you listen to it again. This kind of movement, as opposed to a hymn that is chord, 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 is very linear, and that makes us think of walking, of a journey, like this. We're continuing on. And the way that this phrase ends makes me want to go further, right? There's more. It's not, you can hear that it is not done. And you feel the tension there with this accidental, this sharp that is there, gives us a little bit of tension that we really need some resolution to, and here it comes. Oops, sorry, that's not right. So we feel the end of the stanza there, we feel the end of the music, and we've come in this linear journey, which goes along with what we're talking about, walking in the wilderness. So if you have the opportunity to look at hymns this way, you will see that not only do the words tell us something, but the way that the hymns are written often helps to tell the story of what we're singing about or the season that we're in. So I would invite us to sing this. We're not going to do all 5 verses because, you know, I don't like to do all 5 verses. Let us just do verse 1 and verse 5. And as you are singing, think about how the music sound feels to you, how the words speak to you, and how this poetry can contribute to your Lenten journey. I hope that the music that we select for the next 6 weeks will guide your journey. And I hope that this was helpful in helping you to think a little bit deeper about the hymns that we sing each week. See you Wednesday.